Okay, good morning, Tier 6. Miss Maricel is here again. Okay, today is our recorded lesson, and I hope you are going to understand our lesson for today. Actually, it's a continuation of rounding decimals. Yesterday, we have learned about rounding to the nearest whole number. Okay, let's recall our previous lesson. How we are going to round nearest whole number. Okay, so you need to apply on how to round nearest whole number. It will be the same thing. Just remember that we can round the number when it is the digit that we need or the decider is 4 or less. We have to ignore, or if it's 5 or more, we have to add one more, correct? Now, how we are going to round this number to the nearest whole number? 451.6. So it will be rounded. Since this is 6, it is 5 or more. So we are going to add one more, correct? Okay, so the answer now will be, what will be the answer now? So it will be 452. Would you mind to try to do it? I'll give you 1 minute to answer. You can pause your video. Okay, now, please check your answer. So 2.999, it will be 3, correct? Because this is 5 or more, so the 2 will become 3. How about 79.1? 5. It will be only 79. The next one is $46.8. So it will be $47. 75 pounds and 34 pence will be 75 pounds. Why? Because we have only 3. It is 4 or less, so it will be 0, so it will be 75 pounds. How about 23 dinars and 650 fils? So this one is 6, so it is 5 or more, so it will become 24 dinars. Okay, so remember, when we are rounding to the nearest whole number, we need to check we are concerned only in the unit place and the tens place. The tens means it is the digit after the decimal point. So you have to think, is it 4 or less or 5 or more? So if it's 4 or less, just cancel it and you will have the same number. And then if it is 5 or more, you have to add one more to the unit place, because the nearest whole number is the unit place, meaning the nearest whole number from the decimal point. All right, so that is for the nearest whole number. Now, so as I said, our lesson for today is rounding decimal numbers. And what are our objective for today? After this lesson, you should know how to round decimal numbers or amount to the nearest tens or one decimal place. And then the next is round decimal numbers or amount to the nearest hundreds, or round the decimals to the nearest hundreds or 2 decimal places. Okay? And also, you need to know how to solve problem. Now, I'll give you an example. We have here round 45.38 to the nearest tens. Which one is the tens? So this is the tens. Okay, so I will write it bigger. 45.38. So this is the tens. Okay, 3 is the tens. So we will round it here. And which one we are going to think about? So we are going to think about the hundredths place. So now think, is 8 4 or less or 5 or more? Since 8 is 5 or more, therefore the tens will be added 1. So if we round 45.38 to the nearest tenths, it will be 45.4. Okay? So we are rounding only up to the nearest tenths. Understood? Another example. Okay, another example. So we have here, okay, 234.729. So which one here is the tens? 7 is the tens. I'm going to change the color. Okay, 7 is tens, meaning 1 decimal place. So this one, it can be 1 dp. What is 1 dp? Meaning 1 decimal place. 1 decimal place means the digit, 1 digit after the point. So it's 7. Okay, now which one we are going to think about? So we are going to think about the 2. 9, just ignore everything. Okay, now you have to ask yourself, is 2 4 or less or 5 or more? It is 4 or less. Therefore, this one just cancel it. The answer now is 234.7 is the answer. So if you could see, 1 decimal place means 1 digit after the decimal place, after the point. So do we have only 1 digit after the decimal point? Yes, so this is correct. Now let's move to the next example. 45.24. Which one is the tens, or which one is the digit 1 decimal place or 1 digit after the decimal place? 2. Okay, so remember, if we say round decimals to the nearest tens, or we say round decimals to the nearest 1 decimal place, meaning 1 digit after the decimal point. Okay, year 6. So now let's underline it and think about the next digit. Is the digit is 4 or less or 5 or more? 4 or less. Therefore, just cancel it. Then the answer is just ignore it and write the same thing. Okay? So, do we have 1 digit after the point? Yes, we have only 1. So this should be written. So when you're rounding to the decimals to the nearest tens or 1 decimal place, your answer is always 1 digit after the decimal point, not 2. Okay? Now, next question, 2.39. So let's underline again the digit after 1 decimal place, 1 digit after the decimal point. Now think, is 9 5 or more or 4 or less? It's 5 or more. So we need to add 1 to the tens. So therefore, the answer is 2.4. Okay? I'll give another example. I will erase this one. I erase everything. It's okay. Okay, I will give another example. So you will see now. Round these numbers to the nearest 1 decimal place, or okay, so that you will understand what I'm talking about 1 decimal place. Now, so how about if I'll give you, so even we have more digits here, still we are only concerning about the tens and the hundreds. This one, just cross it out. So it's 2, 4 or less, or 5 or more? It's 4 or less, therefore we will just give 0 here. So the answer is, remember, only one decimal place I need. So 56.7. Okay? Another example. 9.38. 1. Okay? So what should be the answer? So which one we are going to underline? 3 is in the tens place, and let's circle the hundredths. Okay, so 8 is 5 or more, therefore we will add one more to the tens digit. So the answer now is 9.4. Okay, another example again. So I'm going to give more example. So it will be 12.25. Another one, and the last one, it will be, how about this? Okay, so which one we are going to underline? The nearest decimal, the nearest one decimal place. So this is the one, okay? Or the tens place. So now let's think about this one. It's 5. Oh, it's very obvious. It's 5. So therefore we will add 1 to the digit tens. So that the answer now is 12.3. Okay? And then now here, let's underline the tens, and then let's circle the hundreds. So hundreds is 5 or more, therefore we will add one more here. But wait, 9 plus 1 is 10. Are we going to write 8.10? Instead of 9, it will become 1 now. So no, you should not make 8.10, but you have to. 9 plus 1 is 10, so you have to go there. It will be 9.0. Since we are going to have, we need, our answer is at least one decimal place. You keep now this time 0, 9.0. Okay? Now, so I hope you understand the rounding to the nearest tens. Now, I'm going to give you okay. Now, would you mind to answer your student book page 50 question 2? Okay, you can pause your video and answer it. Page 50 question 2. Okay, now check your answers. Round these numbers to one decimal place. What did I tell you a while ago? One decimal place is the tens place. Okay, so one decimal place is this one, and you have to think here. Now, can you tell me the answer? Check your answers. 0.35 round to one decimal place is 0.4. Check your answer, please. And then letter B is 3.8. Why it's 3.8? Because 4 is less is not 5, so ignore it. So it will be 3.4. 6.5 is 6.6. Letter D, 9.1. And letter E, 0.5. Okay, I hope you have done this all correctly. Any question? Do you have any question? No. Next one is, I want you to do, and you need this to, okay, so now I'm going to give you a work. I want you to answer this for me, okay? Question 1 and question 2. You pause your video, answer it, write this question in your notebook, or you can Okay, so I hope you have done this one. Now let's move to the second objective. Okay. So in here, you have to run to the nearest whole number, to the nearest tenth, to the nearest dinar, meaning up to the dinar, okay? And then round this number to one decimal place, meaning nearest tenth, okay? Nearest dollar mean like nearest whole number. Now in question 2, you need to find the mistake, like the exercise that we have done. So meaning, would you mind to check whether Cherry made some mistakes when she tried to round these decimals to the nearest whole number? Find her mistakes and you need to write the correct answer. Did she do it correctly? Yes or no? Otherwise, you're going to write the correct answer. So you have to write this one in your notebook and submit it to me. Okay, so let's move to the next objective. Now, the next thing that you're going to do is round to the nearest hundredth place. So you know already which one is the hundredth place, correct? The hundredth place will be second decimal place after the point. So 2 is in the hundredth place. Okay, so 63.723. So which one we are going to underline? We are going to underline the 2. And we will think about 3. So since says 100th place is the second decimal place. So we stop when we have already 2 decimal places. Okay? So then think about the thousands place. Is 3 4 or less or 5 or more? It is 4 or less. Therefore, the answer is 63.72. So now we stop up to 100th place. Do you understand? 100th place our 2 decimal place. Get it? Now, so remember, you have to read carefully. Are you rounding to the nearest whole number? If it's whole number, you do it here. So if it's whole number, it will be 63. Nearest tens, it will be up to here. So the answer will be 63.7. Nearest hundred or nearest 2 decimal place, it will be this. All right, so 100 place, when we round 63.723, round to the nearest 100 place or nearest hundredths is 63.72. Okay, let's have another example. Okay, so the number at the right is 3. So 4 or less, just ignore. The final answer is 63.72. Okay, now I'm going to give you another example. Okay, let's do this another example. Okay, so round these numbers to the nearest hundredths, okay, at least 2 decimal places. Okay, so remember, after the point hundreds means it's at the second decimal place, second digit after the decimal point. So let's count 1 and 2. So that's the hundreds. So you have to circle that and think, is 5 greater than 4 or 5 or more, or 4 or less? It's 5 or more, so that's why we have to add there. So the answer now is 65.35. Next one. You can try it and you can pause, then try to answer. Okay, now you can check your answers. So let's count to decimal place. So 1 and 2 and circle. So 5 or more, therefore we add 1 more there. So 2.35. 5. Next one. Did you do it correctly? Now, so after the decimal point, 1 and 2. So now let's circle this again. So this is 5 or more. So you have to add one more. So the answer is 912.21. Okay? Now how about this one? 5 dinars and 763 fields. Round it to the nearest hundredth. So 1, 2, circle. Okay? So this is 4 or less, therefore just ignore it and copy the same number. Okay, so now when we round to the nearest hundredths, we will have, 5 dinars and 760 fields. Okay? Next one is $67.972. So let's count again, 1 and 2, circle. Okay, so the answer is $67.97. Okay, last one, $9. Okay, $9. Let's count 1 and 2 and circle. Okay, so it is 5 or more, therefore we have to add 1 there and cancel. So the answer is 9.08. How about if it's pounds? So 12.321. So let's count 1 and 2, circle it. It is 4 or less, therefore the answer is 12.32. All right? If you have any question, you can come and watch again the video so that you will understand if you have any confusion. Now, the next thing I'm going to ask you is that you're going to do, bring out your workbook, please. Okay, bring out your workbook. I need you to answer page 33. Okay, I want you to answer page 33. Okay, yesterday we have already answered rounded to the nearest whole number. To those who did not answer rounded to the nearest whole number, I want you to answer all this question 1 as well as question 2. If you want to challenge yourself, you can answer question 3. Okay, year 6. So I need you to submit this to me as well as the one for the first exercise that I have given you. So I need you to answer that, and this is the second one. It will be in page 33, okay? And I need you to answer this page, okay? So you have to round all these numbers to the nearest hundredth, rounded to the nearest 10, and rounded to the nearest whole number. I'm going to give you one. I'm going to answer the first number. So if we will round this to the nearest hundredth, so we will count from the point. So 1 and 2, and then circle. I'm going to blow this up because it's too small. Okay, so okay, so now this is, you have to do the first number rounded to the nearest hundred. So you count second decimal. Okay, 1, 2. This is, remember, this is 2 decimal place. Okay, after the point. Understood? So 1 and 2, and then circle it. So the answer will be 12.45. Okay, and then nearest 10 is 1 dp, which is 1 decimal place. So now you have to count again, so up to here, okay, and you have to circle it. We don't care anything about that. So the answer will be, that is 5 or more, So you have to add 1 there. So rounded to the nearest tenth is 12.5. Now, it says nearest whole number, so until the unit. So 12.452. Which one here is the unit place? So we nearest whole number, meaning nearest whole number, meaning nearest to the unit. Okay? So we are going to run to the nearest unit, which is 2. So now you circle only this, and this one, forget all about it. So 4 is what? 5 or more or 4 less? 4 less than 4, just ignore. And the answer here is 12. Okay? So now you are going to do the rest of the question. And submit it to me. You can upload in the Google Drive. Okay? Google Drive or email it to me. So you have 2 things. Okay, the last thing that I want you to do, I want you to have a quick research. Would you mind to find what is the difference between rounding and estimating? Okay, this is the last homework that I want you to search it, and we are going to discuss it on Sunday. Okay. So, okay, thank you for watching and listening. I hope you understand our recorded lesson for today, which is rounding to the nearest tens and rounding to the nearest hundredths. So, and please submit all your work, and I will check it. Bye, year 6. See you on Sunday.